You know what, guys? I think it's time to dig really, really, really deep. You and me, to really go down to where it all started, to where the trauma has its root, and where all the pain and suffering that you and me carry within ourselves is really coming from. So, let me help you to go back in time with you. Just start thinking about your childhood, start thinking about how you got raised, how was the relationship to your parents, how were they treating you, how was the relationship to your siblings if you had them, cousins, you get it. How was high school for you? Like the first school you ever went to. How were the teachers treating you? What were they telling you? How were you perceived? Were you supported and guided, or were the teachers trying to push you down? Let's go back into the time where we are between where we are born and when we turn 10 years old, and just really ask yourself, how was I living? What was I doing? What was surrounding me? Which books were I reading? And how did people treat me? How were the relationships with my friends? What I was doing, what I was eating, what was I hearing? What were the shows I was watching, the books I was reading? Like, ask yourself all these questions, because you know what? All this shit, or all this positive stuff that we experienced from being 0 to 10 programmed us like crazy. You cannot imagine how much of very deep, deep, deep traumas and beliefs and habits and patterns is coming from 0 to 10. So ask yourself, dig deep, answer the questions, take a piece of paper and write them down. And then you continue and you break it down from 10 to 20. Go through it. Like, we females, when did you get your period? When did you have your first kiss? When did you fall in love for the first time? How were you spending your early teenage years from like 10 to 13, 14? And how did you evolve and develop? Who were your friends? What were you doing? What were your beliefs about alcohol and drugs, about partying, about friendships? How was your relationship to other females? How was your relationship with guys? For you guys, how were the relationship between one and another? Was there some sort of rivalry, competition, a lot of pressure? Like, just individually, it doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, just go back in time and really think about those years. Think about what brought you joy, what was dragging you down, what was fulfilling you, what was traumatizing you. Try to remember the dreams you once had, like what really, really, well, what you were really enjoying doing, and you will be surprised how many answers you find from that period in your life, which is still a reality in your reality right now, though you might be already at the end of your 20s or 30s or 40s or 50s. Because here's the thing, everything we experience, I just break it down easily from like 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. And the reason why it's so important to go back in time and like really reflect every single year is because sometimes, and especially when you start awakening, when you start observing yourself and questioning everything from a higher perspective, like, why am I actually doing this? Why am I wearing these clothes? Why am I styling my hair that way? Why am I eating this diet? Why am I doing these workouts? Why am I having these friends? Why am I having this job? Like, what am I doing with my life? And why am I afraid of these things? Why am I not brave enough for that? Like, why is so much dragging me down and so less really energizing me? And why is this triggering me? Why do I feel jealousy? Okay, maybe we should quickly get clear about what a trigger is. So for me personally, I'm very traumatized from old relationships where I got betrayed, people were cheating on me with other women. I was just feeling so low in my self-worth. So although I am naturally not a jealous person, for example, I noticed that small things can already trigger me. So in my case, even if I get triggered, it's not that I am like putting this energy on the other person. Like, I'm someone who's not freaking out, not yelling or like blaming someone else. But instead, what is happening when I get triggered, And also here, just for information, like everyone gets triggered in a different way. So some people get triggered and then they are imploding, while others get triggered and they explode. But both is equally the same. Though I would say maybe it's even better to explode, of course, when you cannot control your emotions in public, for example, then that is working against you. But sometimes I think that the people who are like sucking everything and swallowing it and just like imploding but never really opening up, they actually have it a little harder because the energy is not released. You know, that we store these energies deeply inside of us, and that can really become so heavy that we cannot breathe. So I had these problems, for example, like for 2 months I just couldn't take a deep breath because I was so loaded and so full of this, and I was not brave enough to speak my truth because I thought, when I say just objectively, I mean, I got a lot of compliments for my physical appearance and looks and overall energy and everything. So that makes me, with that being said, that makes me feel guilty when I, for example, admit that something triggered me and I feel like jealousy, because it's not like jealousy on the other woman. I love women, I love men equally, you know, but it's more that somehow my trigger works like this. Like my partner says something, or I see someone very beautiful or attractive or I don't know, just magical aura, and then I suddenly feel so small and low, and I'm like, so I don't feel jealousy, I just feel like low in my self-worth, and I am concerned that I'm not interesting enough, that I'm not attractive enough, just simply sad that I'm not enough. And yeah, that's really something I need to work on. You see, like I'm getting a bit closed with my voice because it's really something that I am carrying within me, and I think I need to release it. Though, okay, let's go back. So the reason why it's so important to go back in time and to go through every single year when you're starting your trauma healing journey, you start with reflecting, becoming self-aware. You observe yourself, you go back in time, analyze, because what you will learn about yourself will open your eyes on a new level. Because suddenly you have the feeling that you're discovering some truth. You're like, oh, that is why I react this way. That is why I'm eating. That's why nothing is changing. I'm still the same because of that. I actually don't believe this. Like, why am I speaking like that? That happened with me a lot, you know? Like when I started my self-healing journey, and exactly what I told you right now to do, that's what I did. I mean, it was chaotic. I'm not lying. It took an entire year. When did I start? I was 24. It took an entire year to break it down to the core until at that time, thought, okay, I have figured out quite a lot. And it really helped me to grow and heal so much, because somehow what is also happening when you start your trauma healing journey and you develop this commitment, okay, I'm getting myself out of this victim mentality, out of my depression, out of my anxieties, everything, out of my pain, and I will not tell myself anymore that there is need for shame about the things I did. So what? I had sex with 10 guys in 1 year while I was 15. Well, it was eating me up alive for like 7 years of my life. So what? I was naive. I didn't know what I was doing, what I was seeking, what life was about. I I didn't know. Why would I blame and shame myself for this 10 years later? You know? It's just not worth it. I honestly, it's just not worth it. So it really helps to go back in time and take your time, because also what's happening then, that's what I wanted to say, is that you start to center your energy more inwards. Usually, especially before you become aware and before you really start healing, your energy is on the outer world, okay? You're so affected, you're so distracted, you're so influenced, everything. But then when you commit to heal yourself, you turn so much of your focus to the inside, and then you will experience magic, because week by week, or a day is already a lot of time in that process, because you just, the next day you will wake up and you will be like, wow, actually feel a bit better. And even if it's just a tiny bit, but you will feel a little bit better. And throughout these self-reflection, self-healing journey starting process, you start to, well, dig in, you focus on yourself, you get to know yourself better. And this is something that's probably written down in every single spiritual book. Get to know thyself. And with thyself, yes, God, universe is meant, but it's also you. You on the inside. Who are you? What's underneath the mind, all the stories, your upbringing, your friends, your parents, your job? Who are you in your core? You're more than this body and this mind, you know. And in order to find out who you are, you need to stop searching on the outside completely, because you are where you are right now in this particular point in your life, and that is perfection. You are here exactly where you are right now because you are meant to be here. You are meant to be here exactly who, how, where you are right now. Just inhale that for a second and slow the F down and realize that you are in the best spot you've ever been in your entire life, even if you're at your lowest right now, because you are about to break through once you start doing the inner work, facing yourself, healing yourself, discovering who you are, where it's all coming from. And then once you have done all this decluttering of the chaos, the pain, the shame, the trauma, everything, you will feel like you're putting a massive bandage around it and you're just like gently releasing it. And then there's space inside of you. So much space, and you will feel so much lighter. And you know what will happen then? The universe will send energy and flash it all over you, through you. You will explode, you will thrive, you will shine, you will overfill and overflow with energy. Because here's the thing, the universe wants you to thrive, wants you to be abundant, wants you to be joyful. Forget everything that you've ever heard and just start believing in this. And you'll be surprised which miracles you'll receive very, very soon. I took a breath now. So listen, I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope that you start believing in yourself and that you start making the commitment to yourself to heal your inner child, your teenage child, your young adult child, your 30th child, mid-40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, it doesn't matter. Because we are all exactly who we have been when we arrived on this planet. I mean, we actually did not really arrive on the planet. We just got incarnated into these bodies, which our minds make us believe that, well, this was the start and death is the end. While in reality, it's not. It's all energy. It's constantly flowing. Everything you see around you also energy. But I don't want to dig too deep into the energy world right now, because that would become too much. But I would really love to make a video about how everything, as Einstein already said, is energy, frequency, and vibration. Because when you really understand that your thoughts are basically capable to regulate up level and also downgrade, obviously, your energy, and that nothing else matters but the energy that you are turning on the inside of your body, mind, heart, and soul, that is the only thing that you need to learn to master in order to get everything in this life that you want. Everything. And it doesn't matter, because only the mind is telling you that it's harder to get a brand new car than it is to get tissues in the grocery store. But for the universe, it is the same. And I'm dead serious here right now, because so many people are never becoming happy, fulfilled, and joyful, realizing their dreams, just because their minds is telling them a story and another one and another one and another one. And so many souls or minds just don't realize that they could just retell a story. And that is possible right now, and right now. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it will inspire and motivate you to start your healing journey. And if you want to learn more about energies, manifestation, and just how to get to know yourself, how to reconnect to yourself, how to reconnect to nature, and how to start receiving everything that your soul already knows, and you are just not capable yet of receiving because your awareness level is too low. But once you expand that awareness level, get excited, because you'll have the feeling that you are connected to the radio frequency of the universal intelligence, and that is dropping down all the golden information that you need in order to succeed, become the most joyful, become a billionaire, revolutionist, international best-selling author, musician, actress, whatever it is. You can do it. Thank you so much, and let me know if you would like to see a video about that.